So today I want to show you my holy grails, what are the absolute rarest JRPGs that I own in my collection. And there's just a few, I don't want to show too many, I have a bunch of games that are already on the $100 and something range. Well, these are the big ones, these are the big hits, the big ones. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. I'm gonna show 8 games, top 8 rarest JRPGs in my collection, the holy grails, alright? And I just showed a while ago Fire Emblem the Blazing Sword. This is on the Game Boy Advance, complete in box, almost mint condition. There's some wear, I don't know if you can see it, probably because of the shipping. I bought this so long ago, probably 10 years ago. Yeah, I think it was around 10 years ago when I bought it. Probably a little bit more when I was reselling games. I bought a batch of games, I think. Yeah, I bought a batch of games, including my copy of Chrono Cross. I'm not showing Chrono Cross, it's not a Holy Grail JRPG. Yeah, I bought this game with Chrono Cross in a batch of games that I was planning on reselling, so I sold everything and I kept this one and Chrono Cross. So yeah, and I got it, you could say that I got it for free, because I paid like $30 or probably more, probably $35, $70, probably $40 for the whole batch. And I sold everything and I kept those 2 games and I got my money back, so you could say that I got this for free. But it was 10 years ago. Back then the price of this game complete in box was like, well, pretty much like $30, Nobody cared about Game Boy Advance games back then. Next is a bit of a weird case because it combines both a North American release and a Japanese game. And the Japanese edition, this is Ragnarok Tactics. I don't know, for some reason the North American PSP version went up in price. And I think it goes up for like $150 already. Crazy, I know. So what I did, I bought this special. This is a Japanese special edition. This didn't come out in North America or anywhere else. Inside of here, it's a pain in the ass to open this. Don't make me open it. But inside of this, I put the North American version. So the North American version, I bought it in Canada around 3 years ago for like $29.99 Canadian dollars. That's the equivalent of 25, I think, 25 US dollars, 24 US dollars, complete in box. And then I bought this special edition and for like $25. So pretty much I paid $50 for the whole thing, $50. This is that's one of the biggest amount of cash that I paid for a video game in my entire life, $50. But yeah, so the special edition, the Japanese special edition goes for like, I don't know, probably $100 or $200 plus the North American game, so this is one of the most, relatively speaking, it's one of the rarest JRPGs in my collection. Ragnarok Tactics, fantastic strategy RPG, strongly recommended, one of the best. Anyway, this is Xenosaga 3. This should come as no surprise, it's been rare for a long time, limited print run. Namco pretty much gave it up. The first game was a success, but the second one was a failure, so they didn't put a lot of effort into this one, in marketing, of course, because the game's a masterpiece and it's the best out of the 3 games of the trilogy. But yeah, for some reason, they just print very few copies, and therefore the game became really rare. I think it goes for like $250 or something nowadays, $250 It's crazy, I have it, and that's there's even an even more expansion. There's even a more expensive version of this game, which has a lenticular cover, which goes for like $300 and something. Holy crap. This is a regular one. Yeah, Xenosaga 3, masterpiece. Just like Ragnarok Tactics. Anyway, so Wild Arms 5, this is the 10th anniversary edition. It comes with a big ass well, it's an art book and a regular manual. That's all it has. No soundtrack, nothing else, just an art book. I've seen copies of the standard version being sold for like $100 and something. This is probably on the $200 range already. Yeah, it went up in price like crazy, this special edition. It's not really a special edition per se, but you get the idea. It's an edition. It's not a standard edition. And, it's really pretty, as you can see, the colors, the gold. Colors come in gold color, and there's this kind of material here. It's pretty, very pretty. Yeah, one of my most treasured acquisitions. I didn't tell the story in Xenosaga 3. I bought the game probably 7 years ago. with another bunch of games and a PlayStation 2. This guy was selling his PlayStation 2 with a bunch of RPGs. and a bunch of other games. I remember the Devil May Cry trilogy was there, and I resold everything except the RPGs that I was missing in my collection, including Xenosaga 3. So once again, I pretty much got the game for free, because by selling the PlayStation 2 and the other games that I didn't want, I got my money back. So Xenosaga 3, I got it for free. Pretty much same as this one, because this guy, I remember this guy, was selling like 30, it was around 30 or 40 JRPGs. He wanted to get rid of his collection, and there was only PS2 games. Everything was PlayStation 2. And in fact, pretty much you can say that 10 or 20 of my games are from that guy, from when I bought everything from that guy, And it was a hard battle. He posted his entire collection on the marketplace in Facebook, and everybody was sending him messages. And I'm like, oh man, I'll give you this amount of money. I'll give you $200, $300, blah, blah, blah. But the problem was that this guy he lived kind of far away from all of those people. So he was like, man, you're kind of far away from where I live. So I sent him a message, and I'm like, hey, I live kind of nearby. So I'm offering you right now, and we can meet right fucking now. And I think I offered like $300, something like that, $400. I don't remember, but it was like 40 JRPGs, man. And I resold half of them. So we met, and I bought the games off of him. All of them in pristine condition, including this one. So half of the games that I kept in my collection, and the other ones that I sold them. So once again, kinda got this one for free. This was 6 years ago, I think. No, probably more. 7 years ago, around that era, when JRPGs weren't crazy expensive nowadays. So the next one is one that I've, showed lots of times. I keep this in a bubble wrap. This is Suikoden 2. Probably the rarest in my entire collection. You already know this is a game that goes for like $350. I don't know. This also was free because it was a gift from a fan. I've told the story many times before. His name is Rav. Thanks a bunch, man. This was 3.5 years ago when I was still living in Canada. He sent the game, and I was like, wow, you're really gonna send that game? He's probably trolling. And no, he wasn't. He sent the copy, I got it. I paid some taxes, some import taxes. And I played the game, and I was like, man, this guy really sent the rarest JRPG on the PlayStation. Oh my god. Thanks, Rav. Yeah, I keep this in a bubble wrap, because it is the Holy Grail. Should be number one. Next one is a game that a few years ago when I got it, it was like $100 and something game, and nowadays it's almost $300. It went up in price like crazy for no reason, and now it's one of the most expensive JRPGs on the PS1, and this is Koudelka. The condition of this copy that I own is not perfect. It's kind of like a 7 out of 10. Has some wear, the discs are a little bit scratched, but overall it's a decent and acceptable condition. And Koudelka is a game that I recently criticized 2 days ago in my most recent video about wasted potential JRPGs. And this is also a gift from a fan from France, Remy Guillon. I'm pretty sure I mispronounced his name. This was also when I was still living in Canada 3 years ago. He sent a bunch of games, and this was in that box. But back then it was nowhere near as expensive as how much it goes for nowadays, It's very expensive nowadays. Koudelka, yeah, can't believe it's one of my holy grails. And another one that I've told the story so many times, Valkyrie Profile on the PS1. This is also in a plastic protection that I keep it in. I've told the story on how I got this game for like $30, 7 or 8 years ago, more or less, I don't remember. I think it was 7 years ago in 2015. This guy was just selling a bunch of games on the Mexican eBay, well, the Latin American eBay called Mercado Libre. And he posted the game plus shipping. Nobody was buying it. Back then it was like a $50 to $60 game, so it was $30 plus shipping. That was like $5, So I was like, man, so I bought it and I got it, and here we are. Yeah, there we go. Valkyrie Profile, masterpiece, one of the best on the PS1. And the last holy grail that I want to show, it's on the GameCube, and this is another masterpiece. This is Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. It's also in a plastic bag. It isn't sealed. And this is one of the very first video games that I collected in my life. This game and I go all the way back to 2010. That's right, 2010, man, when I was first starting to buy games to resell them and collect them. So this is one of the oldest video games that I own in my collection, you know. So I bought a GameCube with a bunch of games. This was included. And I paid, I don't remember, man. It was like probably $100 for the GameCube, 2 controllers, memory cards, a bunch of games, this one. Back then, this game went for $25. Actually, some weeks later, I got another GameCube with another bunch of games, and this was included once again, so I resold the other copy for $25 like an idiot. Hey, I didn't know it was gonna be this freaking expensive nowadays, you know, I should have kept both copies. But you know, I only kept this one copy, mint condition, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, you know, masterpiece. I also got it for free because I resold the GameCube later, and all of the games, I only kept this one. So you can say that I got it for free. The good old days of video game collecting, man, when a lot of people could find easily deals like this everywhere, and now it's freaking impossible. But those are my holy grails, my holy JRPG grails in my collection, and that's it. Thanks for watching,